Happy 20th episode.
Happy 20th episode, Ari.
Wow.
We're doing great.
When's our anniversary?
October 27th.
You just had that off the dome.
Because quite literally a couple of days ago, I was like, when's our anniversary?
Oh,
I looked it up.
Okay, sweet. We haven't missed it.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, 20 episodes. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. I can't believe we're doing this.
I know.
Actually.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. But yeah, let's get into it. Hello, my name is Ari.
My name's Casey.
And this is
The Ticket.
Woo! Today
Bam.
is May 20th?
18th, I thought.
May 19th.
19th. Okay.
That's so funny.
May 20th? May 18th?
2024, year of our Lord.
Mm-hmm.
It is roughly 20 hours.
20 hours.
And it's the 20th episode of our ticket. of this
Wow. And that was completely coincidental. I just want everybody to know that was completely coincidental.
season 2. Yeah, that's so funny.
We should record tomorrow and then be the 20th.
Yeah, fuck, we fucked up.
Okay. We're doing this again tomorrow.
Yeah. We are busy people.
We're busy. We're busy.
And time is precious. But today we're gonna ditch the format and do a little something special. I was listening back. We had said that we would do this on the 25th episode, but we decided to change it to the 20th because we're gonna do something even bigger on the 25th.
Bigger than talking about two movies.
Yep.
We're doing something big.
Yeah,
on the 25th.
baby. So keep your ears and eyes posted for updates about that.
But now that we've recorded it, we have to do it.
Exactly.
We can't back out.
This is a little promise.
We promise
Little
to do something big.
Pinky promise.
20th.
But
25th episode.
that's in the future.
Yeah.
Here in the present,
Right.
Casey and I are in the midst of building a little This Is the Ticket list
That's true. We are.
of movies,
Yeah. Which we love.
which we love.
We love movies.
And Casey and I are both going to bring two movies to the table,
Mm-hmm.
and we will walk away from this episode. So it'll be four movies total,
4 movies total.
and
Yeah.
only 2 of them
Yeah.
will make the list.
They got to duke it out.
Yeah, they're all duking it out. Which is funny because I feel like we talk about how qualifying art it's just
Yeah.
a tricky thing.
It's tricky.
Yeah.
I don't believe in it, but it's tricky.
Yeah. But what are our purpose? What's our purpose with this list, which we have discussed in the past? But just quick little review.
Wow. We're reviewing? Okay.
So
I
from
don't
what
know.
remember, it like we want it to be like a form of expression.
Yeah.
Like we're not censoring ourselves because we had talked about how some of these lists it feels like just an opportunity to show how cool you are,
Yeah.
and it's like almost like materialistic in a way. It's like look at all these cool obscure movies I've seen. Like I'm more
Yeah.
cultured or smarter than you are, etc.
Yeah.
And this list is not that.
Right. With the exclusion of movies that's like, come on, you're excluding this to present some kind of way. Like everybody always talks about Back to the Future. They're like, oh, I'm not going to put Back to the Future on my list.
Oh,
It's like, don't be like that.
yeah. So it's both ways. But to that end, we've also talked about how these lists are an opportunity for discovery. And
That's
maybe
true.
sometimes something doesn't make a list because it's like, people know what that
Yeah.
is. You know?
Yeah.
Like, for instance, one of yours that you are presenting today,
Yeah.
I think isn't normally on these lists. It
Yeah.
should have a place on there. But like a film within the similar genre of similar caliber, I think we could find examples that have made top 20, 250 lists or whatever.
Absolutely.
And that might not need to be on ours because it's like, oh, you guys know what that is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so yeah, Casey, why don't you start us off?
Okay. One of my movies, I think, is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Hell yeah.
I think it's electric. I think it's for everyone. I think it's timeless.
Hell yeah.
That's Double Indemnity.
Boom, baby. Billy Wilder himself. Fred McMurray.
Fred McMurray. Barbara Stanwyck,
Barbara Stanwyck.
who I love.
And
Love
then
Barbara Stanwyck.
homeboy from Psycho. Right? One of the detectives?
Whoa.
Oh no. Who's the other insurance guy?
Oh, not from Psycho. That's Edward G. Robinson.
Edward G. Robinson. What else
He's
is he in?
from. He did Little Caesar. Wow, I'm trying to think
Edward
of.
G. Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's in The Stranger
Mm-hmm.
with our boy
Orson Welles.
Orson Welles. That's how you pronounce that.
Yeah, if you didn't know.
No, god damn it. I thought he was in something else. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He is like, I think, the secret weapon of the movie, honestly.
Yeah.
Like Edward G. Robinson?
Yeah.
Is his name? Incredible.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
He's great. And it's great for him, like, that feels like a Henry Fonda 12 Angry Men kind of thing. Like, for him to play this slimy criminal for most of his career and then get this role where he's basically like the moral compass almost.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So he had built a career being like a scumbag.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of gangster movies.
And then, Little Caesar. Yeah. And then, in Double Indemnity, he's like the conscience.
Yeah.
And he's so like committed to the truth.
Yeah.
It's like so fun to watch.
Yeah. I love, which is kind of something that I was talking about with the other movie that I picked. I love.
Oh, and also spoilers abound. So if you haven't watched
Double
Indemnity,
Yeah, if you haven't seen Double Indemnity, get on it, I guess. And then fast forward, I guess, to a movie you have seen after watching Double Indemnity.
yes,
Great movie. I like that Fred McMurray is an insurance salesman.
which is also a fun little nod to The Apartment, where he's the head of an insurance company.
Sure.
Well, I
Wouldn't
guess
it-
The Apartment would be a
with
nod
the-
to that,
with the-
because The
right.
Apartment came after.
Right.
But anyway, sorry, continue. Sorry.
No. I like when films of a genre, like, never mind, I'll be specific about it. I like that he's an insurance salesman because that gives him reason to be a detective without being a detective.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So you've still got what you need for the noir film, but it's not like
In this
Further-
ham-fisted way.
right. Which I almost feel like is something only Billy Wilder could come up with.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like him and Barbara Stanwyck together, and he's fun because he's a great actor. And Fred McMurray's fun. He's a great actor. And he plays. Forgot his name. Plays the guy in such a steely way, while also like giving so much with so little. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
I think someone could watch it and say that he's one note, but I think he's unbelievably dynamic.
Yeah, I would agree. Absolutely. And his chemistry with Barbara Stanwyck, I think, is so juicy.
Yeah, there is a lot between them.
Yeah.
Like, it's suffocating.
Yeah. And I totally believe them basically sabotaging each other.
Yeah, every single thing that happens in that movie, I go, oh yeah, of course,
It's like,
of course.
yeah. And a part of me is like, I've been there. You know, maybe not in this extreme scenario, but
I've had a woman do this to me.
or I've done this to a woman, you know.
Damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
And I love her in it. I think she's
I
fantastic.
think she's so great. She's easily one of the standout Billy Wilder female leads.
I'm sorry.
Oh, go.
No. She's like, she's one of my favorite actresses. And I loved when she was younger, and not that she couldn't do it, but I think her roles changed as she got older. I loved how much she could do with like being sexy. Like even movies that aren't necessarily about her being sexy. Like I think she's one of the more loaded femme fatales because of that. Like I feel like she's always had this she brings a sense to her characters that are like, oh, I can use this, good, bad, otherwise. She always struck me as an actor, or her characters always strike me as people who are always a step ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's this like natural like intelligence in the way she carries herself.
Yeah.
And in Double Indemnity, it's so like kind of scary.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no,
Yeah.
what's she gonna do now?
Yeah, even from her introduction, it's like you're nervous about what she's gonna do next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get why Fred McMurray's turned on by it.
Absolutely.
Fuck.
Absolutely. She's enchanting.
That movie's so good.
Mm-hmm.
What? Yeah. So I guess like, what's your case?
Oh, geez, I don't know. I think it's magic. I think, I think, well, one, I think people get tired of me saying they don't make movies like that anymore. But it's almost like today, you would never be able to find a movie carried by two people with that kind of chemistry. I don't know if I've seen.
I don't know, man. Have you seen The Fall Guy? I haven't seen it.
Sorry to Fall Guy defenders, Fall Guy truthers. I also haven't seen The Fall Guy.
Yeah. I shouldn't shit on it. They seem really charming in it.
I think they're both two of our best living actors. And also that movie looks like hot dog shit. So,
God, I hope it's good. I want it to be good so bad. I'm like scared to see it.
it's kind of like, I think chemistry has changed. Like I think chemistry as an idea we kind of associate with like the people like each other. They make sense standing next to each other. But I think chemistry can also be, in the case of Double Indemnity, like when you have two people who have no reason to like each other, no reason to associate with each other, and the actors can create this magnetism between them. Like where you watch it, there's no dialogue, there's no suggestion, and you just go, well, I hope neither of them leaves the room. You know?
Yeah, totally.
And I think that's really valuable. I think those are the kinds of movies that you watch when you want to see really great performances, where it's just two people who couldn't be doing this with anybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's almost like the story doesn't matter as much.
Yeah.
To be clear, the story of Double Indemnity is like airtight.
Unbelievable.
Like, yeah. Like the cause and effect in that movie is just so mouthwatering.
Yeah.
But it is also a vibe movie, I think.
Yeah, absolutely a vibe movie.
Very much so.
Yeah, I enjoy the route it takes from A to B. The twists and turns. I really like the reveal. I like the storytelling devices it uses. Yeah, and I do find it pretty exhilarating. Like I also kind of like Wrong Man movies, kind of where, now the Double Indemnity is one, but where your characters aren't really chasing or running from a person or a tangible thing. It's just kind of like this idea. Which is what I like so much about it as well. Like this daunting fear of being caught. And the classic, the strains that puts on that kind of relationship.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite thing.
Oh my God, yeah, it's so juicy. What are some of your favorite chemistries in this day and age, actually?
Oh, in this day and age.
Yeah, 21st century chemistry.
Okay, I'm gonna need a second. I've got one. Have you seen Zola?
Oh no.
Okay, let me think.
No. Just say it. I know the cast.
Yeah, I think Taylor Page and Riley Coe are like kind of unbelievable together, which really sells the insanity of the plot.
Right, because it's based on like a Twitter thread, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I remember when that happened, and that was nuts. Another thing that I think is really valuable, I think when actually that's pretentious to say.
No,
It's
no.
almost a perfect example because Zola is approached by Riley Coe's character. I forget her name, and it's kind of just like she's just drawn to her for whatever reason. She says, "Do you want to come to Miami?" And she's like, "Yeah." This girl she's never met before in her life. And they have to be so close and wanting to be around each other, basically, to where you can really get that whiplash where you're like, what the fuck? Like, who are you?
Yeah.
I think they're really great together.
That is so hard to achieve without chemistry, which sounds like so it's like silly because that's what we're talking about. But like, yeah, fuck. What's an example of a movie where you were like, these actors, dude, I don't believe that they're attracted to each other or like would want to spend time together, and it like took you out of the movie. Fuck. I feel like I just had an example of this.
I have two examples.
Yes, let's go.
Okay, so we all know something's got to give.
Okay, yeah.
I don't see any reason why Helen Hunt and Jack Nicholson would get together. No,
Diane
sorry.
Keaton and Jack Nicholson. Yeah,
So sorry. Then I got that twisted. As good as it gets.
Oh,
As good as it gets is what I want.
Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah, that one's
Yeah.
so insane.
I think actually, and this is what's crazy about it, is that I think actually Jack Nicholson and Helen Hunt in that movie have fine chemistry. But it's just kind of like you're not making this believable for me.
Right. Yeah. Because the circumstances are like, wait,
Right.
you need to be like,
I really need to understand what's going on here.
yeah.
But what made me think of that was I just saw The Pledge. Have you seen
Oh,
that?
right. Yeah. You were telling me about this.
Great movie. Actually, great movie.
Fuck.
But Jack Nicholson just kind of blows into town.
Robin, it's a 90s actioner? Or is it
Early aughts thriller.
early
I would
aughts
say.
thriller?
Yeah. And he's as the movie goes on, he gets crazier and crazier. And Robin Wright's just like, my husband's abusing me. I'm going to latch on to you now. And it kind of comes.
Jack Nicholson's not the husband, or Jack Nicholson is the husband.
Jack Nicholson is not the husband.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
God, Robert Wright is like 20 years his junior.
Maybe even more than that.
Fucking
Who knows?
fuck.
It's wild. It's wild. And also, actually, they are the two of them together. You know, God, they might love each other in real life, but it was so cold for me.
I mean,
Which made sense until she was in love with him.
yeah, Jack Nicholson, like fucking Ali Ray, my girlfriend, constantly bemoans how unattractive Jack Nicholson is. She's like, why the fuck are any of these women like into him, like in these movies, you know? And I get it too, like, and it's so frustrating because like I was watching Something's Gotta Give, and I just kept thinking like, what if this was Robert Redford? Like that movie would fucking rock.
Damn.
If it was Robert Redford, like, no, but it also
Robert
like sounds shitty because
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm just, you know, people are more than their physical appearance or whatever. To that end, I'm like watching this rom-com with like sexy people in it. Like, just let them all be sexy. Like, why do you have to have Keanu Reeves, Diane Keaton, Amanda Peet? God damn.
Oh, I love Amanda Peet.
Yeah, Amanda Peet's great.
She's great.
And that's the thing. It's like, I don't believe Amanda Peet, because this is Amanda Peet in like her late 20s. I don't believe she's into 60, almost 70 years old Jack Nicholson.
She's in a Jack Nicholson.
They're dating at the beginning of the movie,
I'm sorry.
yeah. Yeah. It's like crazy.
That's crazy.
Like, and yes, he's charming and all that. He's rich or whatever. Da, 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 da. But like, she seems to genuinely be into him. Like the performance she's giving. It's like, oh, she's like genuinely into this guy. And I just don't buy it.
You're saying she couldn't possibly love him because he's so ugly.
Also, but they're not in love. They're just like they're casually dating. That's the thing.
Good for them.
Like he's a womanizer.
Oh, I see.
He's
I
like
haven't seen them.
he's a
Yeah,
serial dater. Like they're
I see.
not in love.
Uh-huh.
He is ostensibly a hot, like silver fox,
Good for him.
and she's like, yeah, I'm like down to clown.
This is totally a separate thing. I find it so funny, like, as an actor, that you feel this way.
Oh, what do you mean?
Like, I guess my perspective on it is that I don't really know. I just kind of be like, damn, you guys really think I'm that ugly? Like you're saying all this stuff, you're like, well, the script says this, and I was cast, and you're saying that I'm charming and that I'm a good actor and I did a good job, and it's just like, okay, bad movie because, oh my god, have you seen your face?
To be clear, I actually like Something's Gotta Give, but I think the for Ali Ray anyway, like why she's frustrated by it is because there's such a double standard. There's a disparity.
Yeah.
Like you're not seeing like a woman who's like the physical equivalent of like Paul Giamatti, you know, like leading a movie and then like getting with like this really young hot guy.
Glenn Powell.
Yeah, like that's just not happening. In the movies where that does happen, it's like fucking what's her name? Forrest Gump's mom.
Sally Field.
Sally Field.
The sexiest woman alive.
Yeah. Like, because she was in that movie with Fuckface McGee from New Girl. Where she dates a younger guy.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what
Yes.
I'm saying. It's like
Yeah.
it's Sally Field who were like
Right. And,
you know,
and it's a big joke as well. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Or it's part of the
she's
joke.
like attractive. She's like a
Yeah.
very attractive woman.
Yeah.
And like Diane Keaton in Something's Gotta Give is sexy. She's very sexy, and it's just like, yeah, it's like, like I do hear what you're saying. Like this sounds shitty, but the double standard sucks, and Jack Nicholson is just kind of gross. Like, he looks like he smokes a pack a day. He has this raspy, creepy voice, and I don't know. I don't see people casually having sex with him other than for his money.
Damn.
You know,
Rip the man's.
I'm being such a dick. I'm being such an asshole. But yeah, I don't think his chemistry with any of those women is like that. It like works. It's like fine.
Mm.
But again, I was watching the movie and being like, man, I wish this was somebody else.
Diane Keaton has such charm.
Oh yeah.
She can pull chemistry out of a freaking rock.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen a lot of movies where she's like paired with somebody that I don't necessarily think is that great, or the script isn't that great, or something.
Like Woody Allen.
Whoa, hey, hey, yee. Well, that's actually a perfect example. Annie Hall is like, this man is insufferable. This man is insufferable.
Yeah, exactly.
And then she comes out and it's like, oh, well, I guess he has some positive quality. She likes him. I guess there must be something there.
It's like, yeah. Fucking in Manhattan also. He's even worse in Manhattan.
Yeah. For a lot of reasons.
For a lot of insane reasons.
Same thing with Meryl Streep. She's got
so
something in that.
attractive in Manhattan. Like I mean, she's always attractive, but
Sure.
in Manhattan, I think she's so stunning to look at.
She's 30 and she's in black and white film, and
Yeah, it's
and the
unbelievable.
hairstylist was on point
it
that day.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean Meryl Streep is inevitably gorgeous.
And
Inevitably
it makes
gorgeous.
sense that she divorced him.
Right. She's like, I'm a lesbian because you specifically have turned me off, men.
I guess that is the subtext, huh? that Woody Allen is right.
I don't know. Well, here's the thing. I hate that kind of stuff, so I don't even know if I think it's subtext. But I think Woody Allen definitely wanted it to be, this guy's so annoying. Even his ex-wife is a lesbian. Like,
Yes, yeah, that was like the joke.
Yeah.
Man, anyway, the point is though, the chemistry in Double Indemnity.
Oh yeah, that's what we were
Unbelievable.
talking about. Unbelievable.
And both very attractive, I might add.
And both very attractive, I might add. Barbara Stanwyck, whoa, Zooey Mama.
And Fred McMurray too.
Yeah, he's a handsome little bloke.
Billy Wilder is so good at the voiceover.
Yeah,
Like, it's unbelievable that it's not annoying.
yeah. It's used so sparingly too.
Yeah.
I think that's the real task.
And
Like-
it's motivated.
Yeah, American Beauty. Oh my God, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
I've never seen it, but I read, that was one of the first scripts I read as a wee lad. And I was like 13. And I was like, this is genius.
Actually, real quick side note, speaking of American Beauty and chemistry and age gaps,
Question mark?
I'm a quarter of the way through. No, I'm a third of the way through on Empire of Light, Sam Mendes' last film.
Oh, I didn't realize that was Sam Mendes.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know anything about it, really. I had avoided it because I don't like Sam Mendes. Yeah, I can't stand him.
You don't like Skyfall?
If I liked James Bond, I'd probably watch that one. But I also don't like James Bond.
Okay.
Yeah, I think American Beauty sucks. I think 1917 is annoying.
Yeah, I agree.
And actually, what I've been reading online is that I haven't hit the bad part of Empire of Light yet, but
You're enjoying it so far.
I love it. The first 40 minutes I think are amazing.
Oh, wow. Holy
Mhm.
shit.
And Olivia Colman is like this introverted. Have you seen it?
I've not seen it. I've seen the billboards.
Yeah, well, there you go. Olivia Colman is like this introverted woman who works in a movie theater, and this guy comes, and I forget his name. I had never seen him before this movie. And it's set in like 80s Britain, so he's black, and he faces a lot of racism and things, and there's a lot of scenes where well, not a lot of scenes, but there's a scene where she's like, I didn't even know that this was happening, and he was like, read, like, but she's like lonely and sexually frustrated, and it's done in a very tasteful way. I think sometimes that can be fucking annoying, and they just kind of fall in love, and it's just kind of like, you're here, and I need somebody, and we understand each other, and they just kind of like softly lay into it.
That's
It's very sweet.
the best.
It's and they have great chemistry. Like I think the two of them looking into each other's eyes says more than a lot of things. I think
That's
it's quite
cool,
incredible.
man. I think that's really powerful.
Yeah, even when they start to have like there's this great scene where this guy tries to like, I keep hitting my face with the mic. There's a great scene. There's a great scene where this guy tries to do a little power play with him, obvious racist, and like how it causes this little friction in their relationship, like where she's just like, you know, I'm here for you. I want to understand. They kind of just like have this really great chemistry. But anyway, back to the point. Double Indemnity is very good.
yeah.
I could talk about movies all day.
A quick Sam Mendes aside. Have you seen any of his company, Sondheim's company?
Yeah, I saw his company.
What did you think?
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah. I don't. It's so funny because I actually like that one a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Might be my least favorite being alive though, which is like
Yeah.
a bummer.
I really don't like the Neil Patrick Harris concert. So every single one.
I
is
haven't
better
even
than that
finished that.
Well, that is all you need to know, folks.
Yeah. And it's the cameos are like annoying to me.
Yeah. I think Sam Mendes' company, I wish, was a little bit more inspired. I think it's just kind of bland.
Yeah, I feel like the casting for that time period is like exciting, but other than that, yeah, I remember liking the staging a lot. Anyway,
Stage. Oh yeah, the stage is fun.
yeah. I really like that. What else has he done?
In theater?
Sam Mendes, or just in general.
He did the other James Bond movie.
Oh yes, which is terrible.
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised.
I grew up with a Bond head of a father.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've seen them all.
Neither. Wow.
Yeah.
No Time to Die as
Yep.
well. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I've seen my old job screened some, and I've seen them like in a weird order. Like I've seen From Russia with Love. I've seen Dr. No. I've seen Goldfinger. And then I've also seen, I think next is Her Majesty's Secret Service. And then I saw The Spy Who Loved Me. Like I've skipped just about every other one.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of them.
they're not serial until Casino Royale.
Yeah.
You know.
I just kind of, I want to watch them in order because there's so many opinions about the Bonds themselves, the guys playing Bond.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I want to know more.
Yeah, which I think is really fun. I am reading that book that I've mentioned several times,
yeah.
Love and Let Die.
Mm-hmm.
And it's made me rethink my love of Bond. Also made me rethink my love of the Rolling Stones.
Wow.
Yeah. And my just kind of like lukewarmness to the Beatles.
The Beatles are awesome.
I'm kind of a Beatles guy now, which is so annoying.
The thing about, I mean, I would never say that the Beatles got shafted because they never got shafted. But the thing about talking about the Beatles in the 21st century is that people don't realize that all of the music that they listen to and enjoy.
Yep.
And it's just so, it was almost like seamless. Like it was like kind of destined to happen. So when you listen to, especially if you've never heard the Beatles, you're like, okay, this shit's fucking whack. Like it's almost like boring, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think they're incredible.
When I'm listening to them now, it just astounds me how much of the bands I grew up liking, and that I, especially when I was in college and like the aughts and then the teens, is that what we're calling them?
The teens.
I
thought so. Or the 2010s sometimes.
Yeah, the 2010s, like throughout that time period, like so many of those bands, it's like insane how the Beatles have songs that it's like, oh, they're just riffing on that. Like it's not even like that far removed.
Yeah.
And it's like that shit was happening. That shit was happening when it was controversial for men to have long hair.
Yeah.
Like it's like so crazy how ahead of the curve they were.
Were you the one? You had a really great insight on I think it was the Let It Be movie where they're recording in Abbey Road and then they go outside.
Oh yes, yeah. It's the Get Back documentary, and so you're in the studio with the Beatles, and it's like 1964 or somewhere in there. I don't even know, but they're doing their thing, and like one of the things that's so striking is it just feels like very like modern. It's just like yes, the technology they're using is different, is like old, and the songs are obviously like harken back to that time period, but then they step outside and it's like all these stuffy dudes in bowler hats with like walking sticks.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, they were so like ultra modern. Like they were so modern that other people, like kids, weren't even picking up on it yet.
Right.
Like my brother-in-law showed me this crazy, I forget the name of the talk show from the 60s, but they basically just like have a bunch of like teens in the audience and they show them like bands and clips from movies and all this stuff, yada, yada, yada. And they showed them the return of the Beatles. So this is when the Beatles like gone to India and kind of like disappeared for a second. And they were like, yeah, the Beatles are back in the studio. And we have a new single for you to show you guys.
Mhm.
Strawberry
Strawberry Fields Forever.
Yeah.
Mhm. Off of their worst album,
And which album is it?
Magical Mystery Tour.
Yeah. So
I mean, good for them, but also
I think they like were just finishing it. Like I don't know. I'm fuzzy on the time period, but the point is, they showed them Strawberry Fields Forever, and then they showed them like some footage of like John and Paul like walking around the city, and these teenagers, these kids, are asked like, "What do you think?" And they also watched the video for Strawberry Fields Forever, which they're like fully bearded, and they're all like looking kind of like weird and crazy.
yeah.
And these kids, these teenagers, are like, they look weird. Like they look old and strange. Like they weren't into it. And it's like, oh shit, they were even like too crazy for like the youths
Right.
of the 60s.
Yeah.
Like they didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And that like the context of their rise to fame, so much more fascinating than like who they are now.
Sure.
know?
Absolutely. Which is crazy to think about, like, that people see Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr and they're like, well, these soft old men.
Yeah, and it's like, no, they were like, they were
fuck?
cutting edge
Yeah. For a long time.
for a long time. Yeah.
Even you can see it, I forget the order of events, but where they go, like, their singles and then Beatles for Sale and Hard Day's Night, and then when they get into Revolver and Rubber Soul.
Yep.
Like, even that shift is like crazy.
Yeah, I was reading that like the cover of Rubber Soul alone was like controversial and crazy.
Wow.
Like people had never seen faces morphed like that.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That
And
is
like
crazy.
and that's also like the peak of their like long hair before they got like really shaggy. And it sounds so vanilla and basic to be like, oh, they had long hair.
Yeah.
But like back then it was like you couldn't get a job if you were a guy with hair like that.
Totally. Yeah.
Like you were rejecting society.
Yeah. It feels like when Michael Jackson did The Robot. Do you remember that?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. It just
Do
fucking
you remember that? But yeah, crazy.
the moonwalk.
Yeah. Or yeah.
Yeah,
Before, did you know about The Robot?
No.
When they were doing Dancing Machine on Soul Train, and he did The Robot. So he does, we can all imagine The Robot. We know that dance move. And he does it like the length of the stage and then back. And people were like, what the fuck? Like, they were like, this is the craziest dance we've ever seen.
Yeah, dude, yeah. It's the same with the moonwalk. Like the first time he does the moonwalk, like people are fucking, their brains are
Losing their
melting.
mind. Yeah.
It's so crazy. Yeah, it's so. I mean, yeah, and it's just like today, what's blowing my mind, you know?
Nothing.
Actually,
The espresso.
one of Casey's picks today just blew my mind. Actually.
Hey. Wait, we have to do one of your picks before we do.
Oh yeah. But anyway, Double Indemnity though.
It's fantastic. And then after you watch Double Indemnity, you have to watch There's Always Tomorrow, and then when it's Christmas, you have to watch Remember the Night, and then
Are these Barbara Stanwyck films?
well, Barbara Stanwyck and Fred McMurray films.
Oh, I didn't know they had multiple pairings.
Mhm.
That's so fun.
And I want to say they're also in Christmas in Connecticut.
Never seen it.
Okay, so There's Always Tomorrow. That's Douglas Sirk. Devastating.
Oh my God, that's Fred McMurray and Barbara Stanwyck.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you'd seen it.
I want to watch that.
It's fantastic. It's like one of my favorite movies ever.
The fuck, I'm gonna look it up. I'll edit this.
No,
For
we're gonna
the
make
edit.
you sit in silence.
I have seen Imitation of Life.
Right, banger.
Yeah,
Banger.
yeah,
It's a banger. I love.
There's Always Tomorrow.
There's Always Tomorrow. So Douglas Sirk wanted to shoot that Technicolor, and Paramount, Universal, whoever, they said, no, that's too expensive.
Fucking idiots.
And it's gorgeous and it's devastating. I also wish it was in Technicolor. Yeah, that's great. It's a melodrama. They're older now. Then they did Remember the Night. I know for a fact is them, and I'm 90% sure they also did Christmas in Connecticut, which is just their two Christmas romance films.
Sirk too?
No. Remember the Night, I want to say, is Frank Capra.
Oh, I love that guy.
I could be totally wrong on this.
Remember the Night.
Remember the time.
I do not see
We
Christmas
fell
in
in
Connecticut,
love.
big guy.
Christmas in Connecticut. You don't see it.
No.
So maybe that one's wrong.
That one's
incorrect.
you fucked up.
Wait, can you look up Christmas in Connecticut
Yeah.
for me then? So I can get the facts straight on this one.
In Connecticut. Peter Godfrey,
Oh.
Barbara Streisand, and Dennis Morgan.
Oh, whoever the fuck Dennis Morgan is. Anyway,
I don't know.
Remember the Night. Okay, so don't watch Christmas in Connecticut. Or watch it because Barbara Stanwyck's in it and she's fantastic. Do you know about Barbara Stanwyck?
I don't really know anything about her.
I mean, I only know a little bit about her, but like her entire family died before she became an actress.
Fuck.
Her mom, this is fucking crazy. Her mom was pregnant, fell off a trolley, baby died, and then like 2 days later her mom died. That is 100% true. And then I think her dad like had a heart attack or something, and her brother went to war and died or something. Like, just like it was crazy.
That's terrible. I have to use my
It's
inhaler.
because it was so horrible.
No, well. It's fine. That's so sad.
Yeah, it's crazy. But also, I mean, not but, and then, she became one of the greatest actresses to ever live. I think she's incredible. I think, I hope more and more people say her name.
Hell
I think
yeah.
she's wonderful.
The what was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Well, I would like to discuss this at some point when we get back to talking about acting.
Oh,
There's something about like personal tragedy.
that draws people to acting?
I think just like art, like I feel like a lot of the artists that I find most inspiring, like my peers also.
Uh-huh.
You like get to know them and it's like, oh fuck, you like went through some shit.
Sure, I mean,
Yeah.
that'll draw anyone to art, I think.
Yeah. And like I don't know, like how necessary is that? I think is like an interesting question.
Oh, tragedy?
Yeah.
We can talk about it later. I don't think it's that necessary.
Yeah.
I find it really like almost evil when people suggest that it's necessary.
Yeah, right? It seems
Yeah.
fucked up. But like again, I just find it comes up a lot.
Yeah.
And it just like it scares me in a way.
I guess if you haven't experienced tragedy, at least before you pick your career, you can find happiness, or you don't even. You can find happiness in other things, or you don't think it's necessary. Versus, I think if you've had something happen to you, you may view art as the only way to kind of get catharsis.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. Anyway, conversation for another time. Double Indemnity. Go see it.
Go see it.
My first pick is hilariously more casual. I'm not sure how to phrase this, but I'm gonna pitch 10 Things I Hate About You, the 1999 teen rom-com directed by Gil Younger and written by the incredible duo Kirsten Smith and Karen McCullough. Of Legally Blonde, She's the Man, and the House Bunny fame.
Yeah.
They are a powerhouse. American Cinematheque recently did a retrospective of all their films, and I got to see 10 Things on the big screen. And
Love that for you.
yeah, and I got to see a Q&A with them. And yeah, I just think that movie, it's in no way underrated. I think it's like firmly like it hit the zeitgeist when it came out, and I think it has had various resurgences and all well deserving. But I think just given the genre, it's not taken that seriously.
Sure.
which I can understand. It's very silly, very, and also like very like corny, very sincere. you
Yeah.
know. And I think people can kind of just like disregard it, not really see it as anything that special.
I hate when people do that.
But when I was watching it this time, I was so struck by how the chemistry, to bring it back to that. I think
Mhm.
all the characters, and especially especially the friendships, I think, are so marvelously wrought. Like Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Oppenheimer.
Oh my god, I just lost his
yeah,
name.
Yeah, God damn it. I just had it.
Wait.
I'm so angry.
Oh my god. I've been
Jo-
saying his name
David
nonstop
Krumholtz. Yeah.
There we
Jo-
go.
like Joseph,
there we
I
go.
think Joseph Gordon-Levitt and David Krumholtz, like in the way you were talking about, like the magnetism between Barbara Strandwick and
Uh-huh.
Fred McMurray, like at the very outset
Mhm.
of their onset of their relationship. Similarly, I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt and David Krumholtz like fall into this rhythm where I totally believe that they just met, and I totally believe that they're like best friends now.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's so funny. And the way they recruit Heath Ledger, rest in peace, and the way he fits into their dynamic, I just find it just all feels so lived in and beautiful and like alive. And speaking of Heath Ledger, he had such a quiet confidence, even at such a young age. Like he's doing so little in some of the scenes, and it's so electric. It's so striking. And the way his dynamic with Julia Stiles is just so juicy. I could watch them forever. And the filmmaking, I think, just elevates all of this. I think, like, the cinematography is so much more elegant than people realize.
Mhm.
There is this great video essay from Every Frame of Painting, everybody's favorite film bro
He's
YouTube
great.
channel. It's very good. But he talks about Spielberg's oneers, Spielberg's long takes, and how Spielberg's you don't see.
Right.
Like he doesn't draw attention to them, and it's because they normally aren't like crazy long,
Mhm.
where you're like, holy shit, this is a long take. They're like just long enough where it just elegantly tells a story. And he's so good about having different frames within the oneer. So
Right.
it'll be like a close up that goes to a 2-shot that goes to a wide, but it feels like 3 different cuts, but it's
Yeah.
actually all one take.
Yeah.
It's masterful, very elegant. Raiders of the Lost Ark has an incredible one at the very beginning in Indiana's apartment. There's another one in Jaws when they're all on the barge moving, and
Yeah.
when the mayor is like, "No, we can't shut down the town. We're gonna lose all this money." Blah.
Yeah.
And it's like, again, it's just so elegant, like beautiful visual storytelling. 10 Things I Hate About You is doing similar stuff.
Uh-huh.
Like, there's the scene where Joseph Gordon-Levitt is like, "Oh my God, I pine, I perish for Bianca." It takes place in the courtyard of the school, and this camera is doing a complete 360 turn
Mhm.
around, and it's centered around Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And as they are talking about Bianca and her relationship to her sister and her relationship to the jocks and all this stuff, you see them in the background as the camera is spinning.
That's
and it's
beautiful.
like, it's so good. It's like, oh my God, this is so like thoughtful. And then he also, God, I don't know who's the cinematographer. Well, the director is Gil Younger again, and then the cinematographer is Mark Irwin, who also shot Scream.
Scream?
Yep, NBD.
My God. And The
Dumb
Fly?
and Dumber and The Fly.
And
something
Videodrome?
about- Yeah, wow.
Oh my
So yeah, Mark
God.
Irwin, fucking
He's
goat.
probably the greatest cinematographer to ever live. Yeah.
Yeah. But he and Gil Younger, they do such a great job of using the background and the foreground. So many of the like wide and medium shots there will be two people talking, and there will be something in between them going on in the background, or something on the edges of the frame going on in the background, and some of it's for laughs, some of it's just gags, but some of them is like really amazing storytelling. Like, there's this great part where, and this is another oneer, which is just so crazy. They're in the big party at Bogey Lowenstein's place.
Hell yeah.
And Heath Ledger is, he's a little overwhelmed because Kat Strafford's like getting wasted, all this shit. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt has just come up to him and like, it's like all fucked up. Like Bianca's with the guy or whatever. And Heath Ledger's like, wait, what's happening? And then Joseph Gordon-Levitt leaves. But then the jock guy, the asshole who like pays him to take Kat out so he can fuck her younger sister, is like, how did you do it, man? Like, how did you get her out? And he's like, what do you mean? And then it's the two of them talking, and in the background you see Kat Strafford getting on the table to dance, and it's all in one shot. And then the song starts and she starts dancing, and the jock is like, yeah, and the camera does this beautiful like tracking push into the room, and it comes under them, so it's looking up at Kat, and she looks like a fucking like goddess, like, and there's like the chandelier above her, and then she's framed by these two dudes just kind of like marveling at her. God, it's just so good. It's like there's no reason it needs to be that like thought out and dense. Like the shots are so dense. And again, it's just like, it's unbelievable. Everybody loves to point out that like, it's based on Shakespeare's fucking Taming of the Shrew, and which it is, and it's like brilliant. It's like amazing. But I love that they keep so much of the language in it. And in particular, there's the scene where it's after the party and he's like saved her basically, because she like fucked up her head and got a concussion, and he kept her awake, and he's dropping her off, and they talk about how Bianca's the reason that all of this chaos is happening, and like everybody's obsessed with her. And I forget the line, but he basically is just like, hey, like, your sister, I think the line is like, your sister's without, like, and I hope you know that, like, compared to you. And it's in the way he phrases it is directly from the text. It's directly from Taming of the Shrew. And Heath Ledger delivers it with such grounded sincerity. It doesn't pull you out. It's just like so romantic. Yeah. Fuck, man. That movie. Fuck. 10 Things I Hate About You rocks. And yeah, I'm sorry. I just like rambled for like ever.
No, that was great. That was great.
But yeah. That's my pitch for 10 Things I Hate About You.
Hell yeah. That was a great pitch.
Hell yeah.
I haven't seen it in so long.
Oh man, it's great. It's really great. I do think it can be very underwhelming the first time if you didn't grow up with it. But I promise you, like, it's a movie that growing up I was like, oh yeah, whatever, 10 Things I Hate About You. And then every time I rewatch it, I'm like, fuck, this is great.
Right.
And the other thing that's really cool is there are multiple drafts of the script that you can find online, and watching the evolution of it is really amazing. Like, in earlier drafts, the Stratford sisters had a mom and a dad. And the mom was like the Allison Janney character. She's writing the like smutty novel. But then to combine the mom and her, the principal character, into like this smutty romance novelist, and then having the dad be a widower is just so effective. Like, it's such a great change to the script. And then earlier drafts, the kids are also like kind of meaner. Like, in particular, like Heath Ledger is like way more of an asshole. And Kat Stratford is way harsher on all the people around her. And the fact that they like toned it down, and it really feels like the final drafts of the script were playing off of the people they'd cast, which I think is such a great sign. When writers and directors are like willing to craft their story around the people that are going to bring it to life. So yeah, go watch it if you haven't seen it.
Go watch it. I'm gonna rewatch it. You've
Hell
sold me
yeah,
on
brother, do it. This is such a wild episode because the movie you're about to talk about is so different than the one I just talked about.
Yeah, and then the movie that you're going to talk about after I talk about the one that I'm about to talk about
Yeah,
is also so different.
yeah. This is exciting.
I think your second one
Mm-hmm.
and Double Indemnity are probably the closest that we'll get.
Yeah, it's like
In
they're
that-
bookends.
Yeah.
To this crazy journey. Anyway, Casey, what's your second pitch for us?
My second pick, possibly the greatest film of all time. Also electric, also quietly dynamic, but also sometimes largely dynamic. I think it's everything a film can be. Candyman. Bernard Rose's
Boom.
Candyman.
1992.
1992.
Yeah, fucking A. Let's go.
So, we're all
and Ari had not seen this one.
right. Ari had not seen this one. We watched it 2 hours ago.
Yep.
I don't even know what to say. So I'm trying to model mine off of what you just said.
No.
So Helen Lyle is a woman. She's studying to get her PhD. She's doing her thesis.
Yeah.
And she's just doing it on urban legends,
Mhm.
specifically Candyman, who is frequently talked about in the Chicago projects of Cabrini Green, which
Spooky name.
spooky name, which still exists.
It does exist.
Mhm. Yeah, it's a real place.
Oh,
Mhm.
shit.
And well, I'm trying to remember if people live in them now. Anyway, and Candyman is a man with a hook for a hand, and he kills people. He slices them open with his hook.
Yeah. He's like Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
You say his name in the mirror.
Yeah, if you say his name in the mirror, you've summoned him, and you're gonna die. You're gonna be gutted like a fish.
She specifically says, "I'm gonna cut you from groin to gullet,"
Beautiful.
which is awful.
So first tick box, the some of the dialogue in it is poetic.
Yeah.
I think all of his little mini monologues are so chilling and concise. Like he has like 5 lines and it'll just shake you. Yeah, it's terrifying. And I'm a big horror guy. I know other people are not horror people. But yeah, I think the fright it induces is beyond valuable. And it does so much. I mean, there's a million different readings of Candyman. I think it has a lot to say about, I mean, Jesus. I mean, you've got gaslighting and you've got gentrification. I mean, gentrification is the biggest read probably. And it just it reminds me of, here I go again. They don't make movies like this anymore. It reminds me of like a time where movies were about 2 and 3 things at the same time.
Sure.
So Helen's studying to get her PhD, and also her husband is cheating on her, and also these people are actually dying, and also it's about gentrification and feminism and I don't know, socioeconomics, I guess, as a whole.
Yeah, totally. Totally. No, it's like all there.
It's all there. And while also being about folklore and things that go bump in the night and disgusting things.
And like the power of folklore. I think that was something that was so surprising.
Yeah. Watching it this time, I was like, it's so beautiful. Because it's almost a movie about movies. Basically, it's
Yeah.
one of those where it's just like, she's like, no, stories have the power to shake people.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what makes it so great. all the performances anchor that, where everyone is terrified by Candyman, every single person. And another one of those things where you want to say it's about something else. You're afraid of drugs and murderers, but everybody's talking around Candyman. And it's gorgeous. I was thinking about all those glamour shots, every time.
Yeah, man.
Even there's a really great one where I think it's one of the times that he puts he's got her under his spell, and it's like a shot reverse shot, and they're lit the same way, and then when he kind of like grabs her, not literally, but when he kind of grabs her, then she's just so soft, and what Bernard Rose keeps doing, which I love, it's one of my favorite techniques ever, is just the light across the eyes.
Yeah.
I always find that unbelievably beautiful.
Yeah. It's another movie that like the cinematography just really, it's so extra. It's really thoughtful. It's so cool.
It's pulpy and like so 90s. I was thinking about this. I was watching Run Lola Run the other day. The same thing, like where you can go big and do crazy things, and every single thing he does is like perfect, and it says so much.
Yeah.
I love the scene. There's this really great scene where spoilers for Candyman, you guys. This is a serious spoiler. Where Helen has just come home from being accused of kidnapping the baby.
Yeah. Oh my God. So this movie is insane.
So to try and explain this concisely is that every single scene up until this point is just rapid fire. Everything you absolutely need to know. It builds the scares. It tells you about the characters. It's bing, bam, boom. And then Helen has just been accused of kidnapping and animal abuse. I don't even know what you would call that.
Yeah.
And she's let out on bail, whatever. She's got a lawyer. They're like, you need to tell us where this baby is. Everybody thinks she's crazy. Her husband is like, what the fuck? She's accused of doing some really fucked up shit. And she sits down, and immediately she wants to do more research on Candyman. Essentially, she's viewing these pictures that she's taken, and she discovers that she's got a picture of him, basically, and it's just this really slow bit. She goes through the pictures, blah blah blah, and I was thinking about it then, that it was like the first scene that was just taking a breath.
Yeah.
This and like almost furthering the scariness of Candyman until it leads you into the next scene, which is fucking awful. And like that slow push down the hall to the mirror, and then these like, I don't know, he loves a close up. There's so many close ups and then our big scare with the hook. And I don't know. I'm not explaining it properly for somebody who hasn't seen it. But just technically beyond. I mean, one of those things like, I was thinking about Midsommar. I think about Midsommar a lot because I think Ari Aster, in that movie specifically, he does a lot of... He puts some flourishes on that I think are solely to be interesting and like a little garnish on the film, and I feel like Candyman, and that's not really a dig at Ari Aster. It's just something that I see a lot in modern filmmaking. But Bernard Rose, I feel like every like little bite that he takes is almost necessary.
Sure.
Like those bits where she sees the eyes of the graffiti, or there's a couple scenes where it cuts between her and what seems like her reality to like almost her. She's like blasted with this red light, and she can see the baby in the other room. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's this like really elegant, like, it's not flashbacks.
Yeah.
but it's like a flashback.
Yeah.
But the way he cuts it feels so like smooth.
Yeah.
Like it's not jarring. It didn't take. There's never a point where I'm like, wait, what's going on? It's just kind
Yeah.
of like, oh, this is
Ooh. Yeah.
happening. Yeah.
It's a great insight to her, and it almost feels like kind of like falling asleep, like these pieces where you kind of don't know what's real, and especially I love when it goes to another scene, or he did it once where it's when she wakes up, and she's been committed,
Yeah.
and I mean, I don't know. I mean, I could go on and on. It's brutal. It's nasty. It's like every horrible thing that could happen happens.
It's also a movie like where it goes so hard into the gore, but I like it didn't feel unnecessary or like gratuitous almost.
Sure.
It just was like, yep, like these are the stakes.
Yeah.
Like it felt very much like this is serious, and like we're gonna show you that it's fucking serious.
Yeah.
As I feel like there are movies where I'm like, I don't know if I needed to see that, but in this one it was just kind of like, okay, yep, like it just like cranked up the intensity in such a devastating way.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. Like so. Just a warning if you haven't seen Candyman, it gets fucking dark.
Yeah. That's another thing that I like so much about it. Like it's disgusting and scary and also like bleak, like just heavy.
It's like, oh my god.
This woman's life is ruined, basically.
Yeah, and like you just feel for her. So it's another like wrong man
Yeah.
trope.
Yeah.
Like you feel for her so hard.
Yeah.
And the ending is such a great payoff, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the very end.
Yeah.
Yeah, where like you might want to say that scene's unnecessary, but it's just another like layer to that's heartbreaking.
Oh yeah. I think it's great.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah, I think it's like such a great way to end it.
Yeah.
But yeah, hell yeah. Also, the score is just
Score's great.
unbelievable by Philip Glass.
Philip Glass. You heard of him?
Yeah, heard of this guy, Philip fucking Glass, and he is going full force.
Yeah.
It works.
And it's by no means heavy-handed.
I don't think so either. It really feels like Candyman. Like in my mind, when I say that now, has this like elevated status as almost like a holy horror.
Uh-huh.
Like it feels like a step above all the like all the other like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, like all these like horrors that we've like grown up and like love, you know. Candyman, like that score and just the subject matter and the way it's executed just feels like, oh, it's like all that shit like taken to the next level. And I think that's so fucking cool.
It's incredible. I mean, yeah, firing. I don't even know, just like firing on all cylinders. Where it just really it rocks me in like an emotional way.
And the pace is
think
just
about.
unbelievable. Like you're in and out.
A little high speed train of just hooks and blood and crying.
And also incredible casting. Like lovely to see like a female led horror like this. And in the same way where like Billy Wilder is using an insurance agent to conduct an investigation. This is like two graduate students.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like we're using cops to tell this story, you know.
Yeah.
Which I think is so cool.
Yeah, and even like I think about that a lot sometimes, like actually using what an actor looks like. Like Tony I mean the reason Candyman cemented that for him, of course, but the reason Tony Todd is the horror man is that he's sleek, sly, like
And that voice, dude.
His voice is incredible. I think he's like 6'7" or something. He's huge.
Oh shit.
And just like he's just so smart. Like Candyman Candyman could be the smartest man to ever live. Like there's just something in his eyes that reads so okay. For the legend of Candyman to be that he has lived or has existed among us for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
He's got like this old wisdom just in his eyes. As well as I think Virginia Madsen sells everything. Like
She's so good.
she's great. She like the scene I always get a little teary when she's after she kills the dog and she's like begging to take a shower.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's such a great. Fuck, that scene is devastating. It's so good though.
Yeah. I mean, I love when she's looking through her picture, when she's walking in the garage and looking at her pictures. Like, she just brings this brightness to every scene, especially before she meets Candyman, where she's not naive about it at all. She's like pushed by her interest and like wanting to excel and learn. Yeah, I mean, I think she's great. And he just shoots them like every single person in that movie is beyond important.
Yeah. And it all fits together.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, dude. Candyman rocks.
Great film.
Man, this is hard, dude. I don't know what we're gonna choose. I have an idea of what we're gonna choose.
You have an idea of what we're gonna choose?
Yeah.
I already know what I want.
Okay, hell yeah. Sweet. Do you have any last words about Candyman?
Oh, I'm sorry about Candyman.
Yeah.
Do I have any last words about Candyman? No. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's so good. Watch it. Yeah, sweet. So my second pick, the final film that we will be discussing today,
The final film
is Jackie Brown.
Boom. 110th Street.
Yeah. Oh fuck yes. Absolutely.
Great song.
Yeah, that soundtrack is just so good. This one is a little. I'm a little torn on this one. I found myself rewatching it, and then I watched it 3 times that week,
Yeah.
and just was like, this movie's fucking great. And
Yeah.
I feel like so many dudes get into Tarantino, and time and again I hear people be like, "Oh, Jackie Brown's like up there. I love that movie," you know. But it still feels like kind of underrated. It still feels like it's not quite
Totally.
recognized like his other films. So yeah, I'm gonna pitch it today. It's his 3rd film.
Is it really?
Yeah, post Pulp Fiction, and his only
I see.
adaptation. Yeah, it's based on an Elmore Leonard novel, and it fucking slaps. It's so good. Starring Pam fucking Grier, who is so sexy.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then we also got fucking Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
And then, honestly, one of my favorite performances of his, Robert
Me
De
too.
Niro. Like, Bobby D
Bobby
in
D.
this movie is unreal. He's doing so little, and it's captivating.
Yeah.
It's like, and when he explodes,
Yeah.
spoilers for fucking Jackie Brown, there's a scene at the end that feels so violent.
Yeah.
Because the film is so like, it's almost like a hangout movie.
Yeah.
It's like reminiscent of like Everybody Wants Some, Richard Linklater stuff. It's like very much like,
Yeah.
there's plot, but everybody's just chilling in the midst of the plot. Like it's not like a Swiss watch,
Mm-hmm.
And when the violence happens, when the violence is perpetrated by Robert De Niro, it is so striking. The first time I ever saw it, it made me sick
Yeah.
because I was like, "Oh fuck, that's like ugly and terrible."
Yeah.
But when he explodes, it just, I feel it. I'm like, I'm right there with you, dude. Like,
Yeah.
and it's awful.
It's
I
shocking.
hate it. I don't want him to do it, and I hate him for it because it ruins everything.
Yeah.
But he just does it with such, like, I don't know if pathos is the right word, but there's just like a depth to this character he's playing that he brings
Yeah.
that I think is so cool because he's playing an ex-con who just got out of prison, went to jail for stealing. You know, he's not the smartest guy, not the most stylish guy, just kind of a schlubby dude. And I feel like a lesser actor would not bring the feeling
Mhm.
that De Niro is bringing to this guy. And
I
it's-
actually think he's so sexy in that movie.
oh hell
I think
yeah.
he's remarkably sexy.
That's
in that movie.
so tight. I love to hear that.
I see
Yeah.
that picture of him smoking the bong,
Yeah,
hitting the bong,
yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, oh my god.
Dude,
I
that
think he's
must his
beyond
like
sexy.
he doesn't have mutton chops, but he has like that crazy
Yeah.
mustache, and those wild tattoos.
Woof.
And he's it's in the wake of Cape Fear, so he's still jacked,
Yeah.
you know.
Ooh, what a handsome man.
But yeah, he's no, he's so good in it. It's like it astounds me because it's like he's not the lead by
Right.
any means,
Right.
and he's still going so hard. And then of course we got our boy Robert Forster,
Rest in peace.
and rest in peace. And talk about chemistry. I think him and Pam Grier.
Oh,
Dude,
there is a fire between those two.
yeah, man, and like that one, like. I love it because there's magnetism on one end. Like I totally believe Robert Forster, Max Cherry is immediately smitten.
Right.
Like I buy it. Like I am right there with him.
Right.
And I get Pam Grier being kind of weary. Of
Mhm.
like, who the fuck is this bail bondsman?
Yeah.
But then to watch her soften, and for them to like grow closer and closer, and
Yeah.
for her to inevitably trust, like to eventually trust him.
Yeah.
I just, oh God, I think it's so romantic.
Yeah.
It's one of the most romantic relationships, I think, in like 90s cinema, especially. Like, and the way it ends, I just think is so heartbreaking. Because it's like, yeah, it's just like one of those things where it's like, yeah, Robert Forster would be the kind of guy to kind of like get in his way. You know, he's not going to
Yeah.
let himself indulge. And she's not going to beg for it either.
Right.
Devastating. But that's another one. I mean, the whole movie just feels so subdued
Mm-hmm.
compared to the rest of Tarantino's work. Well, maybe Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh.
But I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is like just, it's just a little more like meandery and like indulgent. I think Jackie Brown is like, for a hangout movie, is just clean.
Yeah.
And like the shot composition, his use of color is just so, it's just like a cool fucking cocktail on a summer night. Like it's like, it's so good. And
Yeah.
the way he stages people in cars is just so juicy. Like the reverse shot, or the two shots with Pam and Robert Forster in the car. I just think, in the way, sorry, I'm just like rambling now. But he does these great like inserts of like putting a tape in the tape deck, or hands on a steering wheel, like little things to hear to like that like pop, and none of it feels like too much. None of it feels unnecessary. It's just smooth. And oh my God, and Samuel L. Jackson, holy shit.
Yeah.
Another just banger performance.
He's great.
And like it's a performance where I really feel for him.
Yeah.
Like this dude's just trying to retire,
Yeah.
and he has a plan, and like it's just not going his way like at all. And the way he navigates the chaos is so fun,
Mm-hmm.
and he's so scary.
Yeah.
because they established very early on that he'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
yeah, with Chris, our boy Chris Tucker,
Our boy Chris Tucker. Yeah.
great cameo.
Yeah.
Uh,
I love when he shows up.
yeah,
Anyway.
yeah, he's so good. Oh, and like the way Tarantino, that's another crazy oneer where Tarantino like Samuel L. Jackson puts Chris Tucker in the trunk
Yeah.
because he's like, yeah, we're gonna like roll up on these Koreans or whatever, and you need to be threatening.
Yeah.
And shoves him in the trunk. We watch Samuel L. Jackson drive, and then it's this crazy crane shot,
Mm-hmm.
and we see the car from afar
Mm-hmm.
pull into this like, I don't even know, like work site.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of like cutting in or anything, we just stay from far away.
Mm-hmm.
We watch Samuel L. Jackson open the trunk and then gun down
Yeah.
Chris Tucker. And it's just so like, yeah, like you don't need to do anything else.
Yeah.
Like it's so great.
Absolutely. Very touch of evil.
Yeah, for sure. But
I
less
love that guy.
time.
Less time. Yes. Well. Yeah.
Because that wonder is like forever.
It's I think it's 10 minutes.
Holy shit, it's 10 minutes?
Isn't it 10 minutes?
Damn.
Or is it 10 minutes in the movie and it's like 5 minutes? It's long. Yeah, but you're right. It's long.
Yeah, it's really
'Cause
long.
The other one is 5 minutes, I think.
Fuck, that's crazy.
I don't like Orson Welles.
Yeah, you're not an Orson Welles guy.
Not at all.
But yeah. I really think I think it's just a really easy special movie that I mean, not to harp on this, but I just don't see it anymore.
Jackie Brown?
Yeah, I just don't see these like smaller stories with such humanity, and such style too.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's great. It's great. I highly recommend it. I easily, for me, it's easily top 3 for Tarantino, like
Yeah.
hands down.
They don't really make hangout movies anymore.
Yeah, the last one, Everybody Wants Some.
That was Linklater.
Yeah. I can't think of
And that
another
was
one.
2011, 2010.
I mean, I guess Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but that's Tarantino.
Tarantino. Two guys known for the hangout movie.
Yeah. What's the last? We should do a hangout movie. I feel like it's a really difficult thing to pull off, honestly.
Yeah, you've got the ensemble cast. You need a plot that's basically not a plot. You gotta fucking blah, blah, blah.
And like the cast, talking about chemistry, like I really think this movie works because like there's so many different dynamics going on.
Yeah,
And they all feel so real,
yeah, totally.
and so familiar. Yeah, fuck. Yeah, that's my pitch for Jackie Brown.
I mean, hell yeah. I think I don't really understand why people don't like it or I guess what I mean to say is that I feel like Jackie Brown is the culmination of everything Tarantino's known for. And like I think people really took that with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where they were like, oh, this is magnum opus. It's all of his movies in one. I think Jackie Brown's all of his movies in one. Thank you, everybody. Everyone's applauding.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
I don't know. I like watching it. Yeah, it's almost more Tarantino than some other stuff. Especially like what you're saying about De Niro's violent scene. Like people say, "Oh, he's gratuitous," and he doesn't like all these like obviously back in the the 90s where they were like, "How do you feel about your impact on violence and real life stuff?" Like I think he gets it.
Yeah.
With it being over the top and prevalent in his movies, I think that Jackie Brown is a perfect example that he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's a master of the hangout scene. He understands the power of violence. I mean,
Also, one of the few motivated foot shots. Like Robert De Niro's just gotten out of prison. Yeah, he's gonna look at her feet. Like I get it. Whereas any other movie, I'm just like, why, man? Like why?
I'm so sick of him and this fucking. Like it's just like I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. The minute I saw Sharon Tate's black bare feet, I was like, dude, this is getting ridiculous. Like
Oh, yeah.
I gave him benefit of the doubt.
Oh, you
Every
mean
single
Margaret
fucking time.
Qualley's fucking in the windshield?
No, when Margot Robbie goes to the movies, Margot Robbie goes to the movies and she puts her feet on the chair in front of her, and they're fucking disgusting.
Yeah,
and she was wearing shoes. Margaret Qualley wasn't even wearing shoes.
Right. Yeah.
Which just says too much about him for me, honestly.
Yeah.
Kill Bill, she wiggles her toes. She needs to be unparalyzed.
Oh yeah, that one feels motivated. Yeah.
Actually, that's one where people go, he's got a foot shot in all his movies. Look at Kill Bill. I think that's kind of a stupid example.
Yeah, that is a
Like,
dumb
I'm like,
example.
that
one,
actually
I
makes
didn't even
sense to
think
me.
about that one because it's like, oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
But Michael Madsen sucks on somebody's toes in was it Michael Madsen?
Wait, which one?
Or I can't remember. What's the not Kirk Douglas. What is that guy's name? Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell runs his feet on runs his hands on Rosario Dawson's feet. But there's somebody Death Proof,
which I like actually.
I love Death Proof.
Yeah, I think it's great.
I actually think every movie of his up to Inglourious Bastards is perfect.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I have
I
no notes really.
I think Django's really good, and then the other two I think are garbage. But yeah, I think Reservoir Dogs to Inglourious Bastards, perfect, every single one.
Yeah, I'm into it. I am not. I respect Reservoir Dogs. Don't enjoy watching it. Like I just think it's like a hard watch. I'm like this sucks. Like this is a terrible situation. I feel bad for all of you. I don't want to be here.
That's the whole point.
I know
That's the whole point.
I think seeing it in theaters really broke me. I was just like, "Fuck, this is."
It fucking sucks.
Because it's also the one that I think people laugh in the least. Like, there's not a lot of laughter in that one. I feel like.
No, it's sad and stressful.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate the ending. Makes me cry every single time.
Oh, the ending's awful, dude. It's just like fuck. Stoked that Steve Buscemi gets out though.
Yeah.
Love that
His
for him.
slimy little ass.
No, he's
Yeah.
the best one. Mr. Pink's the man.
Isn't he the reason that they get fucking fucked in the first place? I haven't seen it in a
Mr.
while.
Brown, I think.
Is Mr. Brown?
Yeah, Tarantino.
Mr. Shit.
No, it's Mr. Brown and Mr. White. Or Mr. Orange. Mr. Brown and Mr. Orange are the reason it gets fucked. Because Mr. Orange just starts like shooting cops.
Madsen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Mr. Pink's a fucking professional.
Such a friggin' wimp.
Fuck. Nobody wants to hear two bros talking about Reservoir Dogs.
I actually, well, not I actually, but I'm kind of also tired of the Tarantino film bro thing. I mean, I think I hate the idea of a fandom ruining someone's reputation. That's always something I found very sad and irritating. As well as I mean, it's annoying to say this about probably the most popular Western filmmaker ever, but I think it really does him a disservice. I think that when people go, "Oh, film Tarantino," like you kind of miss out on how unbelievable his movies are.
Yeah, that is fair. Because I mean, like, every time I watch Pulp Fiction, I'm like, this is really good.
It's great.
Like, I know it's annoying to hear, but it's good. It's fun. And it's fun. It's also like fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like his movies are really fun. It's not. We're not telling you to fucking watch fucking. I don't even like. Tarkovsky's Solaris or whatever, you know.
Also beautiful.
Which is also
which
which is
something everyone should watch.
To be clear, you should go see. But I mean, like, there are like, I think there are filmmakers that film bros can get really hard for, and it's like, they're hard watches. Like they are heavy.
Sure.
You know, you kind of have to be in the right headspace and in the mood and to watch it. But I think Tarantino's, a lot of his are very accessible.
You can just throw them on whenever. Yeah.
And they're still like furthering your film literacy.
Absolutely.
You know.
I mean, as someone who wears his inspirations on his sleeve, it's like the easiest film course you can take.
Yeah, absolutely. And his use
Because
of the
he's so
camera and his soundtracks, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's great. It's just a smorgasbord.
So true. I think he's incredible. I could also be saying that because I think he's incredible.
Yeah.
Meh.
Well, anyway, we did it. We have presented 4 films.
That was only an hour and a half.
Hell yeah! Way to go, team.
Good job, everybody.
And only 2 can make the list. I have an idea of which 2, for specific reasons. But I'm curious what 2 you would like.
I think I could be convinced of any of them, to be quite honest with you.
Okay.
I wouldn't even say I was voting for my 2. I would want to.
I think it should be one of each of ours.
Yeah. I was gonna vote for one of mine, one of yours.
Yeah, yeah. Same.
But I don't really have any reasoning behind it. Just
okay.
I like them.
My reasoning is Candyman and 10 Things, because I think you just don't see those on big lists like this a lot.
Sure.
Because of like the genre element.
Yeah.
And then also the filmmakers behind them.
Yeah.
Like, I think a Billy Wilder film is going to end up on our list.
Yeah.
And a Tarantino film is probably going to end up on our list.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we
Absolutely.
don't need to like toss them on here
Yeah.
just yet. And whereas like a teen rom-com, that's way more thoughtful than people may realize. And a horror film that I hadn't even seen until today,
Mm-hmm.
that is going so fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like, I think it needs to be those 2.
I got a lot of horror films I want to put on the list.
Oh, heck yeah.
I want my contribution to be entirely horror films. Yeah, I mean, I can go 10 Things. I just haven't seen it in so long. I can't even have a passionate vote about it. But I think Kiki Smith and Karen McCullough are unbelievable writers. And I mean, I can get behind any Shakespearean adaptation. That's just who I am. I love a teen rom-com. I eat them up. I love all rom-coms. Eat them up.
What about you?
Ask me about another one.
I haven't seen it. I want to watch it.
I haven't seen it either.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever will, to be quite
You
honest.
don't know if you ever will?
I probably will, but I won't. I don't care. I don't care. As of right now, I don't care.
I think the advertising did it a disservice.
Didn't you tell me it was an adaptation or something?
Yeah, it's As You Like It.
What?
Yeah, I think it's an adaptation of As You Like It. What? What?
I'm getting this horrible habit of when I get overstimulated, I just say what at people.
I do that too.
I hung out with.
You're probably getting it from me.
Oh, maybe. I hung out with some friends last night, and I got very high, not as drunk as I would have liked.
Number 2 most searched rom-com in the world right now.
Where are you getting that statistic from? Where did that come from?
Google.
Google said number 2 most searched rom-com.
Yeah.
What's number 1?
New movies. Yeah, okay, here is some my genre. Oh my god, they're making this really difficult. Why couldn't I just? Number 1 love movie is This Is Me ... Now,
I don't think that sounds fake.
and then Heaven Knows What is number 2. Is that a love?
Heaven knows what?
The Safdie
The
brothers?
Safdie brother. I don't know if it's
Google,
kind of
are you
statistic-
doing,
what?
man?
This Is Me Now. That doesn't make any sense. That's the Jennifer Lopez documentary.
Romantic movies, All of Us Strangers.
Oh, that's the number 1 most searched romantic movie.
Yeah, and then Empire of Lights number 2.
What? That doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, Google, you're fucking up, man.
That doesn't make any sense. There is absolutely no way that Empire of Light is searched almost as much as All of Us Strangers is. And also, it's friggin' May. Stop searching All of Us Strangers. How can people still be Googling that movie?
I was just googling it the other day. I just started it. I
Get
read the
with it.
script. I haven't watched it, so I know the ending, and I'm just kind of like, oh god.
I think it's.
I am enjoying it though. To be clear,
I was enjoying it until the ending. Yeah.
the ending is like, yeah, I'm a little like.
I can't even
I kind of
believe.
don't know if I want to look at it. Like, I'm not sure if I need to see it.
I can't believe. Well, if that's what you're talking about, it's done very well. It's not awful. It's sad, but it's not awful.
Yeah, okay, so
I actually think the decision to make that happen is fucking ridiculous.
it's based on the book.
It was okay. The writer should be fucking hit over the head. I mean, like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. I think it's
Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney look like siblings. I am so sorry.
how many times are you gonna say that to me? Already?
I just can't get over it, man. I just can't. That choice is more egregious than the ending of any of All of Us Strangers. Thank you very much. But anyway,
I can go Candyman 10 Things I Hate About You.
you can go Candyman 10
I can
Things
do
I
that.
Hate About You.
We can make it ubiquitous. Unanimous.
Were you more Jackie Brown?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, you were.
I was Candyman Jackie Brown.
Whoa! Give me your case. What's the case?
It's friggin' awesome. I don't know. Actually, I felt like it was easy because I don't like, last time I saw 10 Things I Hate About You, I didn't like it.
Yeah, that's
So I was like, okay, well, great, Jackie Brown, because I love that movie.
No. We should do Jackie Brown then.
We don't have to do Jackie Brown.
No, we should do like
if
you didn't like 10 Things the last time you watched it.
But what if I rewatch it and I like it more than Jackie Brown? Then what? Are you reading?
Well,
what I
then
wrote?
I'll just plop it back into my. It'll be. Part
You're
of
gonna
my two-
cycle it back again.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, okay, so let's choose 10 Things I Hate About You or All of Us Strangers, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll choose 10 Things.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Let's make it easy.
No. So far on our top 250.
Yeah.
We have Knights of Cabiria
Mhm.
and Sorcerer.
Yeah, 2 bangers.
So, definitely Candyman.
Definitely Candyman.
Yeah. And then, I guess we should do Jackie Brown.
I feel bad
Why do you feel bad?
because you want 10 Things I Hate About You, and I'm not against it.
I do want 10 Things That I Hate About You on there.
Because also I agree with that. I think that genre films should be bumped no matter what. Be added no matter what. I think genre films are better than non-genre films.
Oh,
As
hot take.
as shown by me thinking Knights of Cabiria was the best. Like that's a joke. I love all movies. Yeah, why not? Because also 10 Things I Hate About You, in the pitch that you gave me and the listeners, strikes me as a movie that I will love no matter what, even if I don't love it. Because I'm very passionate about movies that people kind of cast to the side that are that have unbelievable passion behind them and like
Oh yeah.
the talent that people put in.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Candyman can also be an example of that. Where you say, "Oh, what?" and everyone involved gave it 110%,
Yeah.
and it shows. And it's
And
great.
even like fans of it are like, this is why.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Fuck it up. Okay, fine.
Let's do.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Let's put the movie I like on there.
Yeah, let's do the one I wanted. Hell yeah. Well, right on. Happy 20 episodes.
Happy 20 episodes, dude. Look at us go.
We are going to end today
Yeah.
with a poem by Ursula K. Le Guin.
I don't know.
Le Guin.
I know it's
from
Ursula.
Her final collection of poems, 2014-2018. The collection is titled "So Far So Good." She's a beast. She's one of the OGs. Actually, let me give you a little thing. Legendary author Ursula K. Le Guin was lauded by millions for her groundbreaking science fiction novels, but she began as a poet. Wow, that's so cool.
Hell yeah.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah. So let's see what we find. A nice, a little short one. Yeah, let's do the short one.
Nice.
All right. This is Felled by Ursula K. Le Guin. Sterile gravel, stepping stones, where the great willow grew. Only to me an empty air, a tree I must walk through.
Nice.
Alrighty. Thanks, Ursula. I think I'm going to hang on to this copy.
Hey, hell
We'll
yeah.
do a couple more from Ursula.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Ursula.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thanks, everybody, for listening to 20 episodes.
20 episodes. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Send us an email. We'll give you $1 if you do. If you're
Hey.
the first one to send us an email.
Our email, this is the ticket pod at Gmail.
Yes.
This is the ticket pod at Gmail. Send us an email if you want $1.
And it's in our Spotify bio and stuff.
Yeah. So look there if it's not pod. It's either
I'm
email.
pretty sure it's pod. Yeah,
What's that?
This is the
It's-
ticket
I'm-
pod.
I'm pretty sure it's
actually.
pod as well.
Yeah. But
We
yeah.
haven't gotten any emails,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
I don't know.
It's hard to remember.
But yeah, my name is Ari Wojcik,
My name's Casey Young.
and this is
The Ticket.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.